to the channel, guys.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here today. We're going to be working on the Range Rover HSE 4.4 liter again. We're going to do a couple more services on it. Rear end fluid, belts, tensioners, and we're going to walk you through it. Come on in.
Watch your head here.
We're going to be doing today, we're going to be servicing the rear end. We have the Fuchs Titan 75-90 gear oil for this rear end here. 2 quarts. It's probably not going to take 2 quarts, like 1 3/4. And first thing you got to do is take the side fill plug out, and then you'll take the drain plug out, and we're going to catch it just so we can measure it out. The Fuchs tops, they're big, so you can't put like a tip on there. I don't want to lose any fluid through transfer, so I just cleaned out another fluid bottle, and I'll be able to use this and just put it in there, just transfer it over.
Nice.
So now we're going to I already loosened all this stuff up for you guys to make it quicker, and we're going to just drain that fluid. Make sure to put thread sealant on here once you're done.
Yeah.
Very clean fluid because I already changed this. Right now we're going to put this back in the car, back into the rear end. We need thread sealant on here. You know, got to add it on there really good, get it into the threads so that it doesn't come back through the threads, the fluid, because this does face down to the floor.
Oh, let me give it a little bloody little pat there. Getting that surface prepped up. And there you go.
Clean the rest of the excess off there. We'll let it cure a little bit, and then we'll just clean that off. But it's good to use a good amount of it. You don't want it to leak.
Yeah.
Because it faces down. Most of the time, you're on the side. This one's straight down. So now we're gonna fill it up.
Yeah.
And we transferred it in here because this bottle actually fits perfectly right here, like so. And you just transfer it in.
There you go, as you can see, guys. He's right in there.
We're just gonna, fill up the rear end and take it from there.
Jimmy!
Add some more of this.
A little bit more.
Add more of this so we can continue filling. Jim will come over.
And Jim has to he's paying a visit. Here you have it, guys. Looks like this thing is almost reaching maximum capacity. Jimmy.
You gotta make sure to put thread sealant on that plug too. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget myself.
But guys, you see how that thing is just leaking out?
So it's pretty much full right there.
Yeah.
We can do a test run. Some guys will get upset with this, but I like to make sure that.
Oh, Jim!
See, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Like a fucking steed.
And then I like to cap it off like that.
Alright, this guy's going old school plumber type vibes.
This thread sealant, it'll seal even with the oil. That's the Permatex one. You gotta get that Permatex. Sorry, I can't see it there. Boom. That's the one you need. That's gonna make sure true seals. every time. Shout out to Permatex.
Shout out Permatex. And that's
These, you don't have to go crazy with it.
yep. Man down.
Right down. So with these, this fill cap, you don't have to really get too extreme with it. Just make sure it sits almost flush with it.
Okay.
We'll wait till that cures, so we don't want to spray brake cleaner on it right away. Let that cure up for a little bit. And that's it right there. We're gonna pull our socket out. It's a little stuck.
All right, we got the
socket out.
socket out. It's being a pain in the arse.
That's all done now. We got the fluid service done on the rear. Now we're gonna do that in the front, but we're gonna start with the other service. We're gonna change the belts out. We're gonna change the two tensioners out. They go in steps. You gotta do one to get to the other one. So we're gonna start with that. We'll show you the parts that we have, and we're gonna move forward to the next project while also changing the oil cooler gasket. Whole nother project. On to the next job with the 2007 Range Rover HSE 4.4 liter Jaguar engine. What we're gonna be doing now is moving on to the next step, is replacing the belt tensioners preventative maintenance service with the Continental belts. One for the fan, obviously this is for the other serpentine drive, and we're also gonna do the oil cooler notorious gasket to go bad on these vehicles if you use your vehicle a lot, or if you don't use your vehicle a lot. But come on in, let me show you why we're changing those gaskets. Now look at that oil leak right there. And that's all mainly due to that little $15 gasket that's between the oil pan and the oil filter housing.
Crazy.
So that just causes a big oil leak for no reason. We're gonna get rid of that issue. And then we're gonna get up here, right in here. A little tight in here, guys, but we're gonna get inside there and change those belts out. So a lot of guys think you're gonna go from the top. It's easier to do it through the bottom. You're gonna move in layers. So you're gonna remove that belt tensioner first so that you can get to the inner belt after that.
Yeah, let me see it right there, guys. Hans is getting everything set up. What I'm gonna do now is relieve the tension on the belt. And you can find it right here. What we usually do is we just take out the socket. There's like a little square thing there. And then just fit it in the hole. And you'll be able to finagle this. Hold on one second.
Now we're gonna push this in this direction, relieve the belt tension.
Can you swing your hand to there? Pull it up.
So now, hold on, my hand's caught. Watch your hand, get your hand
There.
out of there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got some spring. Leave it there, leave it there.
You got it out?
Yeah,
Yep.
I got the belt out. So now we got the belt out. We're gonna take the tensioner off, and then we're gonna move on to the next step. We're gonna put a pin to hold the tensioner because they all have pins on them to hold it. So we'll do that, and we'll get it locked out so we can take it off.
All right.
So we're moving these so we can get that oil cooler unbolted. It's two 10 mils here and here. Unbolt it. Some oil's gonna spill out. Catch it. Clean your surfaces, and then put your gasket inside there.
And then put it back together.
Put it back together. You can see that.
And we already got the belt halfway off. Once we take that out, we'll remove the belt completely.
We're gonna break that nut loose, that bolt loose, excuse me, and bring that down, and then we're gonna be able to remove the next tensioner, which lies over here. And then we're gonna get the oil cooler out at the same time.
Yep, show my hand.
It's a tight area, so I'm doing it by hand, not using the electric ratchet.
Yeah, he's like watching
It's
through like
right between-
cracks. See this
yeah.
like
Right between the fan. And the bolt's pretty long too. Has never been removed, so it might fight us a little bit, which it's going to.
it's never good. It's never easy. I'm gonna show you guys how it's not easy on cam.
It should just fall right off, but because it's never been off the truck, we're gonna have to use a little Persuasion. Now this is might fall a little bit, so just be careful when you're doing this on you. It doesn't fall on your face.
And that's exactly what we don't want.
That's what
To
we're
hit your
trying
face.
to avoid. So imagine you are on your floor in your house and you can have the ability to move away. This would fell on your head and cracked you in the face. Fortunately, that didn't happen to us today. So
It's a good
being
thing.
said, we're just gonna move forward. Things happen. Just be careful when you're doing them.
Yeah, it's not.
So this belt here is captured around by the fan. That might be an issue, but we'll slip it out through here, maybe. We'll try.
We'll see.
But now we got it out. Obviously, you can see that this belt needed to be changed. Look how dry rotted that is.
Yeah.
So long drives, if that belt fails on you, it's only a $34 belt, and you'll have
$1,000 towing fees.
$1,000 towing bill plus service.
Yeah.
You can prevent all that by just changing it out. Now the next tensioner
Oh, we got
lies
that
right
leak.
here. That's the next one we gotta get to. Obviously, you see nobody likes to change this because it's a very tight area with all these coolant hoses.
Yeah.
But we're getting in there because there's not that many videos out there showing you how to get this job done, because it isn't a hard job. This is definitely a tech skilled area. I don't recommend this for the novice, but if you want to tackle it, you can. I'm going to show you how it can be done at home.
As you can see, we already started with the rear end, guys. We started working over here. And it's not as easy as people make it seem
No,
in video editing. So we gotta do some finagling, maybe bring this down, take down the fan. Who knows? Hopefully we don't have to, but the way it looks like it has to.
But that one we'll get to that one next. We'll get to the inner belt first and go from there.
I know we don't want to take out the fan. Guys, let us know. Do you think we need to take out the fan? Let us know. Comment.
So we ran into a dilemma. It happens. So unfortunately, we're not gonna move forward with replacing the two belts. We're gonna put the new tensioner on for the fan belt itself. Problem is we have to remove the fan itself and another bracket that encloses the inner belt. So today that's gonna be too much work. Obviously it's a day off, we're just having fun. And we're just gonna move forward with replacing this one and the oil cooler. And we're gonna get back to that belt replacement another day.
And let me just show you guys. We thought we were able to manage. We thought there was some space between, but actually it goes right through on this damn fan. I want to see if I can move this so I can show you. There you go. As you can see right there. So you can still put the tensioner on. It's not going to affect us on the other job when we decide to take the belts off, because you're going to need to put it back anyway. So once we get the proper tool to get that fan off, we'll go ahead and move the belts out and do the other tensioner. But
Yeah, we wanted to show you.
yeah,
We wanted to show you how this one needed to be preventative maintenance.
think they hear that? No good.
No, this one, nothing.
Nothing.
That makes a lot of noise. I heard it in the truck in the morning when it starts up. You hear a little squeak, and it was definitely this one. Belt's not bad, just the bearing is
Yeah, you can
dry.
hear it. It's dry. You know, it's pucked up for what happens. And
We're gonna reinstall this new one. We put a little dab of blue Loctite on there just so it doesn't ever back out. But you can remove it if need be. And just make sure you lock it into the keyed area. Thread your bolt in. Don't cross it, it's aluminum. A ratchet on there. And then we're gonna tighten that down.
now let's put the belt back on. And this is the affected area, guys, where we're gonna be working on next. Looks fucking disgusting.
So this is the culprit to that oil leak there from the oil filter housing. It's a $15 gasket from Manly, or Manly. So we're gonna change that out, and we're also gonna eliminate that. We're gonna show you how that's done right now. So there's 2 sensors. You have to disconnect those 2 sensors and 2 10mm bolts, and we're gonna move forward and get that. So we just broke the 2 10mm bolts loose here. I'm gonna start backing them out. You're gonna get a good amount of oil, so you might want to have your oil catch ready for this. I'm gonna do the top one first, so it's easier to do the low one.
Finish backing that thing out there, buddy.
So we got that last bottom bolt out here. Now we're just gonna kind of rock this a little bit, see if it will come out.
I love you, baby.
Probably won't.
Make sure you have fun, okay?
There must be a third hidden bolt somewhere.
Yeah.
There is. There's one right here.
Right next to it? Yeah, I see it from right here.
There's a third hidden one that I
Yeah.
can't see.
Yeah, I can see it right here. So you pop that one.
You got that third bolt loose, so now the oil's starting to come out. It's gonna come out a good amount. I'm gonna replace some oil as well. So let's move forward.
It looks a little burnt anyway. Oh yeah, there it goes. So we got the housing out. Yeah, you can tell it's leaking, definitely leaking through there. Look at the bottom of that thing. Jimmy. That one.
3 bolts, but arm straining. It's such a tight location.
Yeah, everything in
this
this
thing out.
freaking thing is tight.
You would think it's a truck, you would have more easy access to these things, but they're not. They're very tight.
Yeah.
Big engine, small engine bay, and a lot of coolant hoses.
Not too many.
So we're gonna let this drip.
God, that's why. That should drip out. Take some bowls and come back to this. I can't say anything because you got the music playing off though. Taking out the O-ring.
So we got the O-ring out. It's pretty flat and dry. That's where the leak was coming from. That $15 part. I'm gonna replace it with a nice fresh one.
Nice. Now I can see this thing. I couldn't see really when you took off the thing because the lighting. No, this one's perfect.
I have to go over there. I can't get it in this way.
I feel I can get it to the side. Then I'm gonna move it up a little bit with the aceite.
No, it sits in the groove.
So what you see Pacheco doing now, he's basically he's putting in the gasket.
Now we just gotta make sure the surface is nice and cool.
It has this little sitting position that it sits on, so trying to get that in there properly so we can put it right back and tighten it all up. Cleaning the block side. Still got like some. this real quick. And we got it back on. Show you guys in a second. How you got to dig in there. As you can see, it's back on. Cleaned the bottom of it.
Just making sure the connectors don't have any oil on it.
Yeah. Let's plug them back in. And that's done.
That's it. Job done.
Got the oil cooler sealer. Say that again? What's it again?
We got the oil cooler seal done.
We got it done.
We got it done, guys. We got it fucking done. It was a pain in the ass, but we got it in there, and it's all back in there. So that should stop the oil leak. We cleaned it up. We got to spray a little more. You know, there's always a little remnants of oil when you're dealing with it.
Yeah.
Just clean that up. But we got the new tensioner in, so that'll quiet a squeak up, and we got the oil leak stopped. That's most importantly. Next, we'll get back to those belts because we got to get that tool. So we're done with the job. We're gonna put the underbelly trays back on here, which this truck does still have. That's the other gun.
Let's help this guy out over here. Put a couple of these on.
We had to come and check the oil and top it off to make sure after a job like that that we have the correct amount of oil. We lost some oil, so we're just adding some back to it. This truck already had an oil change, so that's how we discovered the leak.
Yeah. And like about half a quart?
About half a quart. Wasn't too much of a loss. Now
See
we're just
the-
gonna button the truck up and start it up.
Yep.
And we'll check the oil again. Because obviously we lost some in the filter, it might drag in some. We'll check it one more time, just to make sure.
You heard it first, guys. This is the vehicle we're working on. Sounds good.
Final step, we're gonna put the cover back on and finish the job today.
We already checked the oil, we started it up, let it run for a little bit, turned it off, checked it again, topped it off. So this thing should be 100% with oil, and we'll find out if that seal worked in a couple of days, if we see a drip.
That's one of the true tests, we'll find out.
But
It'll drip quickly if it is, but right now, we checked it, no leaks, and we'll go from there.
All right, guys, this is gonna wrap up the video on the Range Rover today.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we're dropping new content.
You know, like we always say, guys,
Another job well done to the next project.
keep it tuned.
Soon.
Yep.